Hello, how are we all doing? It's time for another Cryptoconsh Cheeky Cosmos Catch-Up, episode 17. Here's our lovely Cosmos, and we can see this month Osmosis is still in the bloody top spot, isn't it? Leaps and bounds above everything else for IBC volume, and they continue to expand with their excellent infrastructure. Surprisingly, Kronos is up a bit, and Stride is taking a bit of a hit, being down 2 places. We've also seen Injective begin to shoot up from the bottom, as well as Mars gain 6 places. As we can see, it's been a pretty rough week with hit after hit on the Cosmos, with only Secret and Evmos holding the fort. So, what are we getting in today? First, we're looking at the game of NFTs on the Cosmos. Next, we're looking at all the new Cosmos Hub news, which is quite a lot. Then we're looking at recent developments with Evmos. And finally, an update on the AQUA hack. What is going on? Let's get bloody into it. Firstly then, the Cosmos game of NFTs is now in play. What is this, you may ask? Well, it's a big event on the Cosmos with lots of mentors from many key organizations and partners, as we see here. But basically, it's an incentivized testnet where people with the right skill sets can start messing around with NFTs, testing out the capabilities of interchain NFTs, all before it comes live on the mainnet. There is a registration form to sign up if you're interested in this testing phase, but just make sure you meet the entry requirements. There is also a hackathon where they're looking for vulnerabilities and lots of prizes, with the biggest prizes being for code vulnerabilities, down to some smaller prizes for promotional content, hello, and creating popular NFTs. Down the line, this could be a great addition to the Cosmos, where you could potentially swap your NFTs between loads of different platforms. Awesome. Next, there is a lot going on with the Cosmos Hub right now and the Atom token. Firstly, as we know, with the Lambda upgrade potentially going through on the 7th, we're looking at the new replicated security tech coming through, originally called interchain security. A lot of people have been looking forward to this for a long time, so it's great to see these advancements start to come into play on the Cosmos, especially during the bear market. This honestly looks to be full steam ahead, with the current turnout of 49.31%, with a yes rating already at 99.98. As you can see, the community really wants this, as do I. But you never know, there could be that 50% on the other side. Let's see what happens in a few days. Hopefully no one changes their mind, and it looks almost certain to pass. What was going to be brilliant was Noble was going to attempt to integrate USDC with replicated security from the bat, which is brilliant. It gave a huge positive boost to everybody from these initial statements. However, they've recently taken a turn on that because of the removal of automated slashing packets. So basically what normally happens is, if a validator double signs or a validator misses blocks, essentially they're not doing their job of processing transactions, they get punished by slashing. Now with that being removed, it creates a little bit of concern for Noble, understandably. And of course it affects the consumers as well, because they were looking forward to getting USDC from staking Atom. But in the interest of safety, they're not willing to integrate yet. They need to ratify the code. It's not really a question anymore of it not happening. It will happen. It's just a question of when. We can also see that the vote for Notional has passed with a yes of 40.07%. As we all know, the famous Jacob Gadikian represents Notional and has requested a whopping 40,000 Atom tokens over the next 3 years. This currently sits at around $500,000, 166k a year, and their intention is to monitor the Cosmos Hub for potential vulnerabilities 24 hours a day and maintain coordination with all the relevant teams, on top of producing patches when issues exist. They also have a history here of reporting and fixing patches on the Cosmos. While I think that this is a large amount of money, if 24/7 monitoring does indeed create safety, the patch updates are really quick, and the reports of publishers stated, this could indeed be a very beneficial service to the Cosmos Hub. So not only do we have interchain security, we have this extra layer of security. The vote has also gone through for Confio. These are incredibly important developers on the Cosmos, who required $1.25 million to support the stewardship of CosmWasm, which most app chains are using. There was a time when they stated they wouldn't be able to continue, and there was a huge community outcry knowing how important and fundamental they are to the Cosmos and its growth and development. Consequently, they asked for over $1 million, and the community responded in a massive, overwhelmingly positive way. This just shows how important they are for the Cosmos Hub and the Cosmos in general. So on the positives then, interchain security is about to come through. There's now 24/7 monitoring with people ready to make patch updates, and developers of CosmWasm are on board and continually developing. For me, these things are great, and it gives me a lot of positivity moving forward. There are some things, however, which I consider a negative, particularly regarding governance. Now, this is a bit controversial, right? But there was a community vote to send funds to Turkey. They asked for 20,000 Atom, and this passed. Now, I understand that the earthquake was devastating. So this was 20,000 Atom, over $200,000 of people's investments. Now, let me explain why this is a difficult one to discuss. If we look at why this passed, it only passed with less than 25% of the votes. We had 21% no, 23% yes, and because of this ratio difference, it went through. Look how many people abstained from this. Now, why do you think people, validators, abstain from voting for this? It's because they feared looking bad by saying no. Can you understand how that is a kind of form of manipulation? And what's to stop people doing this in the future? Hey, donate to this charity cause, and then through reputation, people abstain and they fear from making a decision of no. Now, while the plight of people in Turkey is tragic, and it does require donations and support and help from all over the world, what we're seeing here, in my eyes, looks to be a system of manipulation, where you have more than 50% of people ambivalent, 20% say no, 23% yes, and it gets passed. What's to stop people from doing this in the future? And these are things we really need to consider about these forms of governance systems. Because what we also need to understand is a lot of people are investing in this token, not just for the tech. There's a lot of speculative investors. Regardless of whether they're for the tech or they're speculative, they are in this for a reason. And taking $200,000 out, immediately converting that to cash, will lower the value of this token. And also lower the interest of this token. Because if you're wanting to invest in this from a speculative nature, thinking that it has potential, all of a sudden $200,000 is taken out of the system completely, permanently, based on a 23% yes vote. That's going to cause difficulties down the line. It's food for thought. It will certainly help the people in Turkey, but what's to stop this from happening again and being manipulated? So we need to really look at whether this vote system is effective or not if we're having more than 50% of people abstain from the votes and the votes are still getting passed and a lot of liquidity is being drained. So let me know what you think on that more controversial issue. Next then, Evmos. We can see that tomorrow will determine if Evmos are going to build their own DEX, a community-funded DEX. So in partnership with Orbital Apes, they've given themselves a 2-month timeline to ship a version 3 DEX. And they want a very clear IBC to ERC20 conversion, hopefully making a really rich connection between the Ethereum chain and the IBC and the Cosmos. It will be a fork of the brilliant Uniswap version 3, which is no wonder why they can get it up so quickly. The coolest thing about it is there's no protocol fees and no investment token. Can this be a competitor to the brilliant bad boy that is Osmosis? Or simply will it sit next to Osmosis and operate differently, with a heavy focus on swapping assets between the Ethereum chain and the Cosmos? Let's bloody see anyway. Competition is delicious, isn't it? Oh, Maggie Thatcher will be so proud of Web3. There is another proposal, however, where Evmos are being called out on. So they're basically asking for funding from moderators in the Discord channel and moderators on Telegram. So moderators basically delete spam messages, help people with issues, facilitate conversation and whatnot. The average mod seems to work 20 hours a week. They are asking for between $3,000 and $4,000 a month for 24 hours a week. They've basically done the calculations here. You're looking at $28 an hour with quite hefty bonuses as well. As you can imagine, people are not happy with other platforms earning a lot less. People outrightly saying, are you asking for 80,000 Evmos to moderate a Discord and Telegram group? Some are calling it an insult. Some saying that it's absolutely necessary. Some are comparing it to Osmosis that pays more with more developers, saying that Osmosis is in the top spot, remember that, with twice the capital flows of the Cosmos Hub. Some say there's too many moderators. And people are starting to take their frustrations out on Reddit, calling it a sham proposal with 39 upvotes, which is probably going to make it to the top post of the week at this rate. 39. No veto is the common rhetoric here. It appears that Secret are also getting hit as well. They're asking for $3,000 a month for the moderators. It's interesting that now everything is on chain, you have the right to choose whether you agree with it or not. And the real question boils down to, do you see the moderators as useful or not? How many should there be and how much should they get paid? Let me know how you feel about that one. And finally then, what is going on with AQUA on Juno? I made a video recently showing how $45,000 worth of funds was illegally taken. Essentially, someone bought the voting rights, created billions of new tokens, used that to flood all the pools with those tokens, and take away all liquidity, stealing about $45,000 from AQUA. I asked a survey of what people think, and the majority believe it was an inside job. So they did release their statement today, with Todd vehemently denying that he was responsible for the exploits. He actually stated rather than an inside job, it was actually simple negligence, and he fully blames the lead dev. He talks about how he's combining a traditional charity model with crypto, how they intend to buy a drill rig for Zambia. He's also putting to rest the idea that he's falsifying tax receipts, and he's also put up evidence of 4 of the 9 wells that have been created. So if you get time, have a read through and let me know what you think. And finally, if you get your wallet hacked, by that I mean you've given your seed phrase to somebody and you notice your tokens are unbonding and you didn't unbond them, we at TedCrypto, our validator, we're here to help. All you need to do is register on cosmosguardians.com or contact us directly on Twitter. So basically, if they've got your seed phrase and they're unbonding your tokens, they have the intention of selling those tokens and making money for themselves. We intend to bring a bit of peace of mind and security to the cosmos and run a piece of code to hopefully snatch those tokens back before they get it, and then obviously give them back to you. We've given you a chance to recover those funds. It's not always successful. Crypto can be a really dodgy space, and we're here to help. Alright, that was a long one today. Hope you all got through it. That's it from me, James of Cryptoconsh. Hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you again.